Hello, my name is Karime Alvarez and I will be presenting my science lesson. So to start, the science content standard that I chose is 3-LS1-1. Develop models to describe that organisms have unique and diverse life cycles but all have in common birth, growth, reproduction, and death. The English content standard that I chose is RI.3.7 Use information gained from illustrations, examples, maps, photographs, and the words in a text to demonstrate understanding of the text, examples where, when, why, and how key events occurred. The objectives of my lesson is students will create models in order to identify or determine the life cycle of different organisms. How I will informally check if my students have achieved the learning objective will be by giving them exit tickets and asking them open-ended questions. Additionally, I will formally check if my students have achieved the learning objective by making my students do research on the life cycle of an organism, specifically of insects, and create a model in which they must draw and write about the life of their insect. Now, there are several materials that I'll be handing out in class, which is worksheets, task cards, and that will be all. And I will be explaining more in detail the materials that I will be giving. So this will be the first thing that I will be handing to my students. This is a list of vocabulary words they will have to learn, and these vocabulary words are mainly concepts that will be covered throughout the lesson, and as well as stages of the life cycles of the animals that we will be covering in class through readings. So this will be the first worksheet that I will be handing to my students, which is a reading of the life cycle of a penguin. And this page is sort of a reflection of what they've learned here. So here they will have to write the name of the animal. Then they will have to draw or make a sketch of the animal, and then they will have to name each stage they have read so far here. So it is easier for them to highlight, so that's why I highlighted them. So after they write each stage, they also have a little bit more of space here, so they will have to include a fun fact or something that captivated them from each paragraph below each stage. Now this is the second worksheet that I will be giving to my students, which is basically the same as the other one. However, the life cycle of this reading is now of a turtle, and it is also 4 stages, and students have to name each as well as give maybe a summary or an interesting fact or something that captivated them from each paragraph, as well as draw it and name the animal. These are task cards that I will be handing to my students, and they will be exit tickets. So before they leave, I will be handing them not only so I can understand what their knowledge of what we've covered so far is, but also so that they can continue to reinforce their knowledge, or so that they don't forget once they leave our class. So these task cards include questions or multiple choice answers. This is the last thing that I will be handing to my students, and this is a model or template that students will use when researching about the life cycle of their insect. So here we have 4 boxes, which represents the 4 stages, and they will have to draw each stage for the insect, as well as give the definition of the stage, as well as a description of the stage, as well as a fun fact. And that will conclude our lesson.